And just like that, we're into April. Although looking at the weather, you think we're still in February. But enough of that. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. My name is Chris, part-time reseller on eBay. This is my sort of monthly roundup of how sales have been. But like last month's video, I'm not going to go through everything that I've sold, or even like the majority of what's sold. I'm just going to pick apart my favourite sales, as well as some fails and some items that I probably won't be picking up again, just because they haven't made the profit I want them to, or they're just taking an eternity to sell, and I just can't be bothered with them. So, a little bit of a sort of March recap, I guess. March has been a really weird month. Looking at my spreadsheet, I've actually sold quite a few bits, but I've been trying to get rid of a lot of sticky items that have been around for months and months and months and months with little interest. I've just been sending out really low offers, just getting them gone, hopefully never picking them up again, because although they might have been popular at one point, times have changed and they really just, yeah, they've been lingering. They've been lingering with little activity. So yeah, glad to see those things gone. Hence why the quantity of sales I've had is greater, just because I've been trying to get rid of these things in bulk. Now, March has also been, it's been a testing month, not just for myself, but for a lot of resellers, even just standard eBay sellers. eBay has been making tweaks, and a lot of people have been noticing that their daily sales, weekly totals have just been down to like the lowest they've really ever been. Obviously no word from eBay as to why this has been, but the fact it's been affecting so many people, you can put two and two together and say that it's not us not listing things consistently or doing whatever. It's definitely the powers that be, the eBay powers that be, that are just messing with the algorithm, messing with sort of sales flows and traffic, and just almost sort of making various stores and shops and items almost invisible, because stuff that would be, you know, watched in bulk or watched by lots of people, so to speak, from when they've been listed, just haven't been gaining the traction that I've sort of come to expect. And lots of other people have noticed this as well. So yeah, March has been an interesting month in terms of things have been implemented that are out of our control, and it's frustrating when you're paying all these fees and the shop subscription fee and, you know, all the numerous fees that eBay is bringing in, plus a new one that's come in, I think today, 8th of April. So yeah, it is frustrating when there's been no word of, you know, what's been going on. Oh, by the way, we've been messing around with the algorithm. Here's, I don't know, 50% off fees for the next weekend. None of that. There's nothing. eBay will never admit to being in the wrong, but there we go. We all know they are. But there we go. Anyway, enough of that. We all know what's been happening. It isn't good. Hopefully it's the end of it, but even into April, I am noticing just a lack of just sales across the board. Just a lack of activity. Just, you know, even offers just haven't really been flying in as much as I'd hope. But hey, anyway, enough of that. I'll run you through a few of my favourite sales, and then I'll discuss some of those items that I mentioned previously that just I did pick up thinking they would do quite well, but ultimately they've fallen flat, and I'm just happy to see them gone. So let me find. Same phone, I broke the case. Don't buy cheap cases, people, particularly cheap tough cases, because although it protected the phone in the fall, the case kind of like disintegrated. So yeah, always fun, isn't it? So pair of Vans, don't sell Vans very often, but these were a high top, and again, I don't find these very often at all, particularly in a charity shop. Paid £6, they come for £25 plus postage. Had this vintage Pischel, I think that's how you pronounce it, like a long length Tiroler, like a Loden coat, so like a thick wool, typically like a sort of like an alpine, or like a traditional alpine like winter coat. Do you know what? I think that was 50p. I'm pretty sure I paid 50p for that. £45 plus postage on the GSP. And I think it went back to Austria, which is pretty cool. So there's that. Diesel Zathans, picked these up for £15 from a charity shop down in Saltash. So I paid 15 quid for them, paid up a bit. Small size, width 32, length 30, but they've gone for £51 plus postage. So worth paying up for things when the profit you can generate is there. But a lot of diesel jeans I've seen recently have been priced up, but because of the fit they are, the cut of the sort of denim, not worth picking up. This was a good one. This is one of the ones from my personal collection. It's a vintage Lone Star Impy Ford Transit. You've probably never heard of the brand, but it's basically, I think it's now a defunct die-cast toy car manufacturer. This was in really good condition. Dates from the, I think, the early 1970s, late 60s, so a bit of age to it. £33 plus postage. That's gone over to Ireland. Various other bits and bobs. These Adidas Originals trainers. These are the LA trainer. I don't typically do that well with Adidas, but they're a good size. They're a good condition. I paid, what did I pay for these? I think I paid £8 for these in a charity shop. Gave them a good clean. £35 plus postage. So really happy with that because, like I said, Adidas shoes, unlike Nike, just I can't work out which ones sell, and even the ones that people say sell well, like Ultra Boosts I've had, don't. So yeah, I'm still trying to work out which ones do. Other bits and bobs. This one took an age to sell, but I will pick up again. It's a Rafa men's merino wool cycling top, £50 plus postage, and I paid, what did I pay for that? I think I paid a £5 for that, but a long time ago. So yeah, I still pick it up again, but it did take ages to sell. This was cool. This is a Camera Care Systems bag, like a DSLR camera case, padded. I think I paid £4 for this in a charity shop. That's one for £25 plus postage. I do like picking up bags. Something about bags, like hiking bags, camera bags, just basic rucksacks. I find they're often overlooked by people, but if you can get the right one, they can do quite well, so I'll keep an eye out for them at the car boot sales. I'm looking forward to that. This was an old England football shirt I had, bought it for myself, wore it a few times. I think I paid it a £5 for it in a charity shop, but ages ago. It is an old one, so from 1999 to 2001. Umbro, that lovely sort of vintage blue tag. That's one for £33 plus postage. Could have asked a bit more, but it had a couple of nicks in it, a couple of holes, and it had a rip in the armpit that had been sewn up. So not the best condition, but still a nice bit of profit there. These were good. Love picking up cargo shorts. These are a pair of Fat Face. These are called the Benjamin cargo shorts. Lovely sort of dusky pink colour. Brand newer tags. What did I pay for these? I got them from a car boot last year. I didn't list them over winter and listed them at the start of spring. I think they were £8. They got for £35 plus postage. Smaller size, width 32. If you can get a larger size, you can charge even more than that. So yeah, keep an eye out for your cargo shorts. All Bar brown polo shirt. Paid £4 for this in a charity shop. Loads of stains on it. I thought, oh no, this isn't going to work out. But you know what? They all came out in the wash. So paid £4, £29 plus postage. So really happy with that. What else we sold? A tie. Amazing. This is a vintage Christian Dior tie. 100% silk. Paid, I think that's £3. That's gone for £20 all in. That's about the going rate. It was black, so with like a paisley pattern. The more vibrant designs can do better, but I was happy with that from £3. Saw some crag hoppers. This is cool. This is a crag hoppers merino wool, like a base layer or like a mid layer. Paid £4 for this. That's gone for £20 plus postage. These were cool. So Nike Air Huarache. These were a ladies pair of trainers, UK size 5. Paid a £5. They've gone for £22.49 plus postage. So £25, but took a 10% offer. This is an Olympus FL50 shoe mount camera flash for a DSLR. My dad asked me to sell this for him, so I thought, yep, I can do that. I love selling things I wouldn't normally pick up. Although I do pick these up. Well, no, I picked up 2 in the past. One didn't work, one did. But this has gone for £45 plus postage. So you can get them cheap enough and they work. Good bit of profit there. But I hardly ever see camera stuff out and about. And when you do, it's usually on like a dealer stall and it's priced up to a point where I don't want to risk it not working or not. So sold a keyboard. Had this since last year as well. I bought it from a car boot sale. I just didn't do anything with it. There is a theme with larger things. I tend to just sort of buy it, stick it somewhere, and then don't do anything with it. And I've got a bit of a pile there of stuff I just haven't really gotten around to checking, which is bad. But I need to like apply that this year. Like, don't buy things that are just going to sit in a corner and gather dust. Anyway, this was a vintage Yamaha keyboard. This is the Porter Sound PSS140. Came in its box. Didn't have the original charger, but it did come with music book, I guess. Anyway, £21.50 plus postage. I had to go every because it was a bit bigger. I paid a £5, so to be fair, I didn't take it on to sell once I had listed it. So would I pick it up again? I don't know. Maybe not, because like I said, I'll buy it, stick it there, and just not do anything with it. So we'll see. I might get tempted, but we'll see. This was a good one. This is an Umbro England football shirt. Bit newer than the other one I showed you. This is from 2006 to 2008. But this had Steven Gerrard on the back. So number 4, Gerrard 4 on the back. I found that the shirts that have numbers on them, the sort of mid-2000s England shirts that have the players' names on them, do a load better than the ones that are plain. Obviously, you can get your own name printed on, and they're a bit of a no-no. Well, I tend to not pick them up. But if you can find a shirt with a player's name and number on, they do so much better than ones that don't. I guess because there are fewer of them than the sort of standard just England shirt. And if you can get a really niche player, Steven Gerrard isn't niche, but if you can get like a niche player like this is going to test my knowledge. Who would have played in the mid-2000s? Aaron Lennon. Do you remember Aaron Lennon? I don't know what number he would have had, but he would have played for England, but not as much as, say, I don't know, Michael Owen. I think they're in the same position. Anyway, if you can get an Aaron Lennon t-shirt, England shirt, how many people bought Aaron Lennon on that shirt back in the day? Like, so few compared to who bought a Beckham or an Owen or a Gerrard or a Lampard, you know? So, yeah, there's definitely a demand for the more niche player names. Sorry, didn't say how much it went for. 30 quid, and I paid £6 for that in a really expensive charity shop. So, come on! Sold some Levi's. These are the 507s that I've not sold before. Bootcut corduroy dark grey cotton blend jeans. Okay. Paid £4.50 for these, I believe. They come for £25 plus postage, so really happy with that. Sold some vintage Orvis trousers. Heavy cotton, 100% cotton twill, £25 plus postage, and they were £3.50. Yeah, I got them for a good price. Sold an Olympus camera lens. Again, this is part of the sort of thing that my dad told me to sell for him. So this is an Olympus digital M Zuiko. I think that's how you pronounce it. 40 to 150mm DSLR lens with hood. £63 plus postage. So yeah, really happy with that as well. Again, last year I made a bit of a goal to get more familiar with camera stuff. And I did, and I was quite happy, but I'm going to try and extend that sort of goal this year as well. Because camera stuff does fascinate me, and there is a lot of profit with certain things, but then there's a lot of stuff that isn't worth buying, but it's just getting familiar with what does sell well. So yeah, I'll bear that in mind going forward. A couple more bits, then we'll talk about some fails. In fact, I'll do a couple of cars. This is a brand called Siku. It's a German brand. This is an older model from I would say it's from the late 1980s. This is a Siku Ferrari 288 GTO, sealed in the blister packet. I bought this in a job lot of other Siku models. I already had one of these loose, and I prefer to have my Siku model. I prefer to have all my models loose, really, so I can display them easier. So got rid of this one, £30 plus postage. And I think that's a fair chunk of what I originally paid for the job lot, so that's nice. So those are a few of the sales I've had this month. Obviously, that's just a fraction of what I've had. Nothing exceptional, no 3-figure sales in March, but that's okay because it's a nice, consistent array of stuff. And I think the average sale price was sort of something like 24 quid, so I'm happy with that. Now a couple of fails. Now I'm going to group this Vinted. I mentioned before that I'm no longer sourcing from Vinted to resell. I'm sourcing stuff for myself, but I'm not sourcing stuff to resell just because the profit margin just isn't there. For instance, 3 pairs of football boots, okay? So got these Nike Mercurial Superfly 6 Academy Cristiano Ronaldo's. There are a pair of Nike Phantom GX Academy men's football boots. They're a size 11. Nice size. And then there was another pair. Where have they gone? They were white. There they are. Nike Mercurial Vapor 12 Pro football boots, size 10. Now, all these boots I pay between... It's weird. The prices they've sold for versus the price I paid for them has meant that come the end of it, I've come away with about £7 profit for each boot. And that's fine in the grand scheme of things. But I would have paid sort of £8, £9, £10 and a bit more for them originally. So if I'm investing more money than what I'm eventually going to get for them, it just didn't make sense in my head. I tend to stick to Nike boots because I know they do better than Adidas, which is come to fruition because I've still got Adidas pairs listed that I haven't sold yet. Go figure. But yeah, and like I said before, the condition that they arrived in just wasn't quite as good as the pictures, but they weren't bad enough to send back. So ultimately, Vinted is quite a good way of sourcing if you really can't be bothered to go out and find things. That sounded harsh. Vinted is a good way of sourcing if you just like to source that way. I don't like to source that way. I like to actually go out and find things myself. Because with Vinted, you're limited to whatever criteria you're looking for. But if I go out and about to like a charity shop car boot sale, I can look at loads of things in the same spot. And of course, over winter, there were no car boot sales, and charity shops are kind of hit or miss anyway. So I guess it was kind of a good way of sourcing things. But competition is rife on Vinted. Like, there's so much competition, it's not even funny. You've got to buy things. GSP, lovely. You've got to buy things almost blind and then hope that they're fine. I just didn't like the way the app was progressing, and the prices have gone up by quite a bit, and you've got to spend so much time scrolling. I couldn't be bothered. I couldn't be bothered. So, not really a fail, but I'm not going to be buying things from Vinted again. Like I said, I'm buying shoes for myself. Got a couple of pairs down there, just to sort of clear the balance. And if I want to sell them in the future, I can and get my money back, and that's fine. But in terms of actually buying to resell straight away, shoe sizes that don't fit me, nah, I'm done. I'm done. You take it. I'm done with it. So there's that. So I mentioned a couple more things. Women's clothing. I'm going to lump this together as well. So I went through a phase of really getting into women's clothing, and whilst I'll still look out for it, I'm spending less and less time looking through women's sections in charity shops, mainly just focusing on the footwear, coats and jackets, and maybe jumpers, but as we're now going into spring, less so. I just find that there is so much women's clothing in a charity shop, and we all know this. Of course they are. Then the women's section outsizes the men's 4 to 1, probably, maybe even more than that. And a lot of it is just not worth bothering with. And a lot of stuff I've picked up in the past, small sizes do not sell as well as larger sizes. And by small, I mean sort of 14 and below. 16 and above, you're in better stead. But yeah, certainly sort of 10s, 12s, 14s can really hang around. I've got a couple of bits here that initially I thought would be quite good and really haven't been. They've been absolutely rubbish. What do we have? Hold on. Yeah, Rohan. Oh yeah, Rohan. So yeah, there we go. Don't like Rohan anymore. Lightweight full zip jacket, £10 plus postage. I might have paid £4 for it, so that's a fail. I would have received about £2 profit, and it's taken a year to sell. So if you take away eBay fees over that year, I'm probably in the red. Again, brands that just haven't got a second-hand following. Caroline Charles. This is a sort of formal evening jacket. This would have been over £100 new. But there's literally no second-hand market for this brand. A bit like Ted Baker. There's just nothing. It's worse than Ted Baker, put it that way. £13 plus postage. I don't think I paid more than a fiver for it. But even again, it's taken an age to sell. I might have received £2 or £3 profit after all that. Not worth it. Bin it off. So yeah, again, it's trial and error. It's doing research. It's trying to get familiar with what does sell. But a lot of the stuff that has been hanging around for a long time is women's stuff. So I really need to be more careful, more picky about what I sort of pick up. But again, having the time to go through the women's rails as well, I just don't have that time for the most part. So At a car boot sale, I might be more sort of active in searching out women's clothing, but in charity shops, again, I'm sorry, but I just can't be bothered. Oh, another GSP email, okay, but eBay, give me some activity, please. So there we go. So any more fails this month? I had a couple of returns for really stupid reasons. Is that going to focus? Sold that Transformers rescue bot, Rescan Blade helicopter thing, and it got returned because the buyer said it was the wrong size. Now, forgive my ignorance, but aren't rescue bots all the same size? Sort of about, what are they, like 6 inches across? Rubbish. And I put the measurements in the. Well, I think I put like 6 inches in the description. Didn't put like width, length, height. They said it was the wrong size. What a rubbish excuse. Anyway, that was that. I've had a few shoes returned. It's annoying, isn't it? I have the most number of shoes and footwear. I have the greatest number of returns with. I've had quite a few where it's like, oh, they don't fit. They're too narrow. They're too. Well, I put the width. I put the size in. Ultimately, it's a bit of a lottery, isn't it, with shoes? So it's a bit annoying, but I've come to expect that anyway. I say it's been like a meh month, but oh god, it's been a bit of a meh month, but it hasn't been a meh. It's been quite a good month. Put that way now. So yeah, March has been a very strange month. I'm getting rid of a lot of like fodder. That's fine, but just having battles with the eBay algorithm. I don't know what it wants. I honestly do not know what it wants. I try and list between 3 and 4 new items a day. Might end some listings and sell similar, so that adds to sort of feeds the fire, what have you. But oh my goodness, yeah, some days I think I had 3 no sales days. I had 3 no sales days in March. I had 2 consecutive no sales days. That was annoying. I thought surely I'll sell something tomorrow. Didn't happen. And then the day after that, I think I sold like a tenner's worth of stuff. So yeah, it's been frustrating. This is why I don't do it full time, people. Just too unpredictable, way too unpredictable. And to be honest, I wouldn't do it full time anyway, but that's a story for another day. But yeah, March, undulating. I've already used the roller coaster like thumbnail for a previous video, so I can't use that again. But it really has been a roller coaster. But I think it's been a roller coaster for lots of people. So yeah, it's just one of those things. Hopefully April can be a bit better, but we're now on the 8th of April. It's still raining. I haven't been to a car boot sale this year yet, and sales are still very, very slow. So who knows? Who knows? In a month's time, I'll do another video and hopefully give you some more positive news. But where I'm sitting right now, it's looking a bit bleak. Just like outside. Never mind. It can only get better, right? It can only get better. Anyway, I'll leave it there. Thank you again for watching. I know these videos aren't the most exciting, but it's good to get across and get out there what has been selling and like how well things are selling and how the shop is performing on the whole, because a lot of reselling channels sort of float over this aspect, and it's ultimately the most important aspect, the most boring but also the most important. So there's a snapshot of how my March has been in a nutshell. Unpredictable. It's unpredictable every month, but March has been particularly unpredictable. There's a tongue twister. Particularly unpredictable. Anyway, I'll leave it there. Thank you again for watching. If you have enjoyed it, please do like, comment and subscribe. And until my next one, which will be a charity shop sourcing video and potentially my last one for a while, take care and I'll see you then. Goodbye.